In a bustling New York City cafe, the atmosphere was electric with the chatter of fans and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Travis Kelce, star tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, sat at a corner table, his eyes scanning the crowd. He had been waiting for Taylor Swift, the global pop sensation who had stolen his heart, for what felt like an eternity. Their whirlwind romance had been the talk of the town, but behind the glitz and glamour, Travis felt an undercurrent of uncertainty. Finally, the door swung open, and Taylor entered, her presence illuminating the room. She wore a flowing sundress that danced around her as she walked, her trademark smile lighting up her face. Travis felt his heart race, but the closer she got, the more he noticed the seriousness in her eyes. "Hey, you," Taylor said, sliding into the seat across from him. "Sorry I'm late. I wanted to make sure everything was perfect for our little chat." Travis chuckled, trying to shake off the weight in the air. "You always do. What's going on? You seem a bit intense." Taylor took a deep breath, her gaze steady as she reached for his hand. "I've been doing a lot of thinking, Trav. About us." The mood shifted, and a knot formed in Travis's stomach. "What do you mean?" He tried to keep his tone light, but his heart raced. "I love you," she said, her voice soft yet firm. "But I have to be honest about something." Travis's brow furrowed as he processed her words. "Honest about what?" "About my life, my career," she continued. "I can't keep living in the public eye like this. It's overwhelming. I need space to figure things out, to find my own identity outside of all this, outside of us." Travis's heart dropped. The weight of her words crashed down on him like a tidal wave. "Wait, what? You want to take a break?" Just like that, his voice rose, barely able to contain his frustration. "I don't want to break up," Taylor clarified quickly, sensing the tension. "I just need time to breathe." "I'm sorry, Trav, sorry," he echoed, anger surging within him. "You think saying sorry makes this any easier? You're the one who got me into this whirlwind in the first place. Everyone's watching, and he slammed his fist on the table, causing heads to turn in their direction. "I just don't understand how you could just drop this on me." Taylor's eyes widened, a mixture of hurt and concern flashing across her face. "I didn't want to hurt you. I thought you'd understand." "Understand?" Travis shouted, drawing even more attention. "You think I'm just some guy who can handle your fame and then get pushed aside when it's convenient for you? I'm out here pouring my heart into this relationship while you're out there selling out stadiums. It feels like a game to you." "Travis, please," she pleaded, her voice trembling. "It's not a game. I'm just trying to find balance. I thought you of all people would get that." "Get what?" "That you want to go back to being Taylor Swift and forget about Travis Kelce." His voice was a mixture of disbelief and pain. "I've been nothing but supportive, but I can't just sit here and watch you pull away." Silence enveloped the cafe as the reality of the moment sank in. Travis could feel the heat of embarrassment creeping up his cheeks, but he was too far gone in his rage to care. He looked at Taylor, searching for any hint of the person he fell in love with, but all he saw was someone grappling with her own demons. "Maybe you should just focus on your music and leave me out of it," he said, his voice low and bitter. Taylor's expression softened, and for a moment, the anger in Travis's heart began to wane. "That's not what I want. I want you in my life, but I need to figure this out on my own first. Can't you see that?" Travis Kelce stood in the living room of his Kansas City home, pacing back and forth. He had just finished a long day at practice, and all he wanted was to relax with his girlfriend, Taylor Swift. It had been a whirlwind romance, a relationship that no one expected but everyone talked about. Between football games and her international tours, they made it work. But tonight felt different. Taylor sat on the edge of the couch, her hands clasped tightly together in her lap, her lips pressed into a thin line. She seemed nervous, fidgeting in a way Travis wasn't used to. Normally, Taylor was calm, composed, always in control. But tonight, she looked like someone on the verge of an internal storm. "Babe, you okay?" Travis asked, his deep voice soft but laced with concern. He walked over to her and knelt down, trying to meet her eyes. "You've been acting weird all night." Taylor bit her bottom lip, her eyes darting around the room as if searching for the right words. Finally, she sighed and looked at him. "Travis, there's something I've been meaning to tell you." His heart skipped a beat. The way she said it, it didn't sound like the start of a good conversation. He leaned back slightly, bracing himself. What is it? Taylor took a deep breath. I think we've been moving too fast. Travis blinked, feeling a sudden jolt in his chest. Too fast. Tay, we've been together for months now. We're solid. What's going on? She looked down, her voice dropping to a whisper. I'm not sure I'm ready for everything that comes with this. With us being so public, with the media, with everything. He stood up quickly, the room suddenly feeling too small, too tight. His jaw clenched, and he could feel the heat rising in his chest. What do you mean? We knew this would be crazy when we started. You're Taylor Swift. I'm Travis Kelce. It was never going to be quiet. I know. Taylor shot back, standing up now too, her eyes wide and filled with emotion. But I didn't think it would be this overwhelming. I didn't think I'd feel like I was losing myself in all of it. Travis felt a wave of anger bubbling up. He'd put his heart into this relationship, he'd defended them from the critics, dealt with the constant attention, and now she was saying this. After everything. So what are you saying? His voice was louder now, booming with frustration. You want to just end things. Walk away because it's tough. Taylor shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. I don't want to hurt you, Travis. I just need space. I need time to figure out what I want, what we want. His fists clenched at his sides, his voice rising to a scream as the anger overtook him. Space. Time. What is this? Some cliché breakup line. I thought we were in this together. Taylor flinched at his tone, stepping back, her eyes wide. Travis, please. But he couldn't stop. No, Tay, this isn't fair. You can't just drop this on me out of nowhere. I've been nothing but real with you. And now, you're telling me that I've put myself out there for nothing. She tried to speak, but the words caught in her throat as his anger filled the room like an electric charge. Travis turned away from her, fists clenched, his body trembling with the force of his emotions. He let out a guttural scream, filled with all the frustration, hurt, and confusion that had been building up. The scream echoed through the house, loud and raw. Taylor stood there, her face pale, watching the man she cared for unravel in front of her. She didn't know how to fix it, didn't know what to say to make it better. But she knew that this conversation had changed everything. For a long moment, the only sound in the room was the heavy breathing of Travis as he tried to calm himself down. Finally, he spoke again, his voice quieter but still sharp with hurt. Is this it then? Is this how it ends? Title: The Confession. Travis Kelce paced back and forth in the dimly lit hallway of Arrowhead Stadium, adrenaline pumping through his veins. The Kansas City Chiefs had just wrapped up a grueling practice, and while the usual thrill of the game fueled him, tonight's focus was on something much more personal. Taylor Swift was coming over, and he could feel the weight of anticipation pressing against his chest. The two had been dating for a few months now, a whirlwind romance that had the media buzzing and fans speculating. It was a love story that seemed straight out of a movie, but Travis couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing beneath the surface. As the clock ticked closer to Taylor's arrival, Travis tried to push away his nerves. The door creaked open, and there she was, radiant as always, her smile lighting up the room. He pulled her in for a hug, inhaling the familiar scent of her perfume, but the tension in his gut remained. Hey, you, she said, her voice soft yet playful. You ready to celebrate your big win? Always ready for you, he replied, attempting to match her lightness. They settled on the couch, the flickering light from the TV casting shadows around them. Travis watched Taylor's face, searching for signs of the confession he sensed was coming. The playful banter and laughter filled the room, but underneath it all was a current of unease. After a few minutes of small talk, Taylor took a deep breath, her